Hello, this is going to be a video about the J.Tolan Media Mount San Jacinto observation. There's been a lot of nonsense around this observation, a lot of very, very pathetic globe debunkings of it, more hand wave dismissals than anything else. Certain things that when I was arguing on YouTube with certain globers, global even people, a couple of years ago about this, there were certain things they would not address and continually left out. Even though they were being pointed out to them, I was pointing out two things to them constantly. One was the visual occultation, the fact that Los Angeles is actually 100 foot higher up than J.Tolan. J.Tolan was at 150 foot height elevation at Point Hume in Malibu. Los Angeles is occulting him by 100 foot because it's 250 feet. And Mount San Jacinto is 123 miles away from him. So he's being visually occulted by 100 foot. Now, people don't understand what that means. Okay, it means that your angle, it has to be different. He can't see the bottom of Mount San Jacinto or anywhere near the bottom because he's occulted by the land that's in front of him. He has no choice but to actually, rather than tilting his camera, he has no choice but to only see whatever he's allowed to see past that occultation. Okay, I will give physical demonstration of that in a couple of minutes. First of all, I'm going to start with this. On the globe side, they basically will take J.Tolan Media's height and put it into elevation, and they can say, let's say that's here, and they'll say this is the height of Mount San Jacinto, and they put it into orthographic view like this, and they'll say, look, this is the angle he should have been looking up at with Los Angeles here, and yeah, he would have seen like he should be able to see like this much of the mountain, right? Not taking visual occultation into account. Whereas in reality, even though I don't have enough space here, his angle would have been a lot more like this, even lower, I'd say, than that. Let's bring this down a touch. Even lower, right? His angle would have been even lower than that, right? Because he had such a distance between him and Mount San Jacinto. And let's say Los Angeles is here, 20 miles away from him. He would have been looking up over Los Angeles, and this would be Mount San Jacinto, 123 miles away. So what the globers show here, what the globe believing people show in orthographic view is so criminal, because this is a lot more like what it would be. And I would do it even, there'd be more of an angle, more of a small angle than that. It's just to visually show it on screen. I don't have that much space. That's what I did the best I could do with the space I have on screen. But it would actually be a much tighter angle than even that, considering he's 123 miles away from it. So at 123 miles away, if you were going to drive in a car from the place he was at in Malibu, Point June, to Mount San Jacinto, and you travel at 60 miles an hour, or in Europe 100 kilometers an hour, you'd have to travel in a dead straight line without deviation and without stopping for 2 hours straight to be 3 miles away from it. So after 2 hours of driving at 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour, you would still be 3 miles away from Mount San Jacinto if you started at Point June and didn't stop and went in a direct straight line to Mount San Jacinto. That's how far away he showed. So he's showing a mountain that's that far away, that's a 2 hour drive in a dead straight line. Now, if he was to try and drive that from his position, in reality, it would probably take him 4 hours to get there, I think it was. I think I checked before, something like 4 hours or something, just to get to Mount San Jacinto with traffic and everything else. So that would be quite the trek, even unimpeded is 2 hours. And with traffic and everything else, it's 4 hours. So that'd be quite the trek just to get as far as he actually photographed from only 150 feet high. Okay, this is just not a possibility on the globe. If this was the globe, he'd be barely seeing the top of that here, right? And this is the other problem. The height of Mount San Jacinto was 3,302 meters. That's 10,833 feet. The hidden amount, right, should be 1.46 miles, 7,708.8 feet. Okay, but right, I'm just going to show this here. Right, there's the 3,302 meters, just to show that, and Metabunk here. The hidden geometric hidden should be 1.46 miles, and I'm just going to show, right, there should be 3,125 feet, or there would be, sorry, 3,125 feet would be the maximum you could see if to go by globe mathematics. Okay, but there's a massive problem here, and that is this. And this is the very thing that I brought up constantly when I was arguing about this several years ago. It's the very thing I brought up, and I kept on asking that same question, and nobody addressed it. Besides the visual occultation that nobody wanted to address, this question no one wanted to address. The geometric horizon, if you go by globe mathematics, is 15 miles from his 150 foot viewer height. So if I just add another 5 foot to that, right, for his camera, so he's, let's say he's at 155 foot, right, that means the geometric horizon is 15.24 miles away. Okay, so let's come down to this. Okay, there is his distance, right, 122.63 miles, right. It might be a slight bit more than that, but just that's the way I did it. It's close enough. So from here in Point June to Mount San Jacinto, right, it's 122.63 miles. This is where the geometric horizon of a globe would have started, at 15.24 or 15.25. It would have started right here. This is where it would have started. This is Santa Monica Beach here. Okay, I'm just going to show. That's right. This here is Los Angeles, Santa Monica, Venice, Manhattan Beach. All these places, they're all along here, right? But in the direction he's looking, I just want to show it in the direction, right? Let's go back to here, right? He's looking across Santa Monica. So the distance from Point June in Malibu to Santa Monica is 19.21 miles. So even to Santa Monica Beach, he's already 4 miles in vision past where the globe's geometric horizon would have been. Right, so the globe's geometric horizon would have been at 15.25 miles. The beach in Malibu is 19.21 miles. Now, he had a much clearer view of the beach before he put on the IR filter. Once he put on the IR filter, the view of the beach wasn't as clear. But when he didn't have that on, in his videos, he shows that he's looking directly at the beach. Then you have all Los Angeles after that. Okay, this is just going to show here. This is the distance he saw from here to here. Now look across the US. This is what they show us as the US, as the width of the US. So look, and now it might be bigger. We don't know for certain, but it might be actually bigger. It might actually seem a bit bigger. But I'm just going to go off of what the maps are giving us. So that's that distance. He actually saw that distance, of America. That much of the United States in distance. That's like that, and he was visually occulted, and there was no geometric horizon. So that alone, what I've just done there, already debunks the globe and any debunking they come up with, because they don't have this. The very thing that I asked them for constantly, over and over again. I think it was back in 2017 when this came out, whenever it came out. They didn't, and they never took visual occultation into account. So now I'm going to go on to their actual debunking of this. Okay, right? This is what they did, right? They took the portion that J.Tolan could see. This is from Metabunk, right? If you go on to Metabunk, or you even search online, Metabunk debunks J.Tolan or whatever, you'll find this, right? They overlaid what he could see onto a photograph of Mount San Jacinto that was taken by someone else from a different location, right? It's from a different location. It's from a closer location, and it actually shows less of the actual mountain than J.Tolan showed. This section here is actually that section up here. Sorry, it's actually this section here. This here is actually up here. I'm going to show you now in a minute, right? I'm just going to go down. Right. These are two different photographs from J.Tolan Media from that same place, looking in that same direction with two different filters. As you can see, in this one on the left, the Mount San Jacinto looks bigger. Now I've lined up the horizons, and I've lined up the city of Los Angeles. And as you can see, although this one is more clear, this one looks bigger than that. It looks like it's bigger in view than that. So in this one, they never mention this one. They don't talk about this one. They try and talk about this one, okay, all the time. So we'll talk about this one. So there's another view in black and white of Mount San Jacinto, taken by J.Tolan as well, with a different filter again, or a different setting on the camera. There is an up close that I'm using, and I'm just going to show here what I did. Right, see here, these are the two buildings here and here. There I've lined up the horizons. This is the beach here, and these are the same building. I've lined them up, okay, just to show you. Okay, now I'm doing this. There is that line going across the top of both those buildings. I have this lined up perfect, right? The horizon and the city, right? And as you can see, right, it's touching the top of this just about, right? But when I come over, it's above the top of that. Now that's down to clarity and compression. Basically, you got a lot of clarity, and there wasn't as much. Like there was definitely compression of some kind going on at a distance on that day. You know, visual compression, which happens. It's just part of optics. But this just shows on a different day with a different setting or a different filter, you'll get a different photograph. But he's still seeing 123 miles away. That's the point. And look at the clarity he has on this one. So I'm going to go down again. All right. This is a snippet I took out. I matched it with this exact amount. Okay. This, right, is matched with this and this. So this and this is that mountain from Metabunk. This is the both of them put together make up the one photograph. Okay, so that's the bottom and that's the top. Okay, and this is what J.Tolan Media could see of Mount San Jacinto matched up with these two. Now I'm gonna go down. Now I've matched up. I'm trying to match up this top one and this bottom one as best as I can. So this peak here, I'm trying to match up as best as possible, but also while matching up over this side. It's difficult to do because J.Tolan took his photograph from a much further location and from a different elevation, and then this one. And what you have again is you have this section here, which is actually over here, right? This is where that is. So this is actually up here. That's actually where that is. Okay, and I'm going to show more of that as I go down. Now this is it in sepia, same thing again, just that is there, right, just to give a better view of it. And here it is again, more with a better view again. That is actually here. If people care to look, that's actually here. This is actually here, I think it is, or here. And as you come down to this, right, that is there. That's that part there. What you will notice over here is if hills over here, right, where are they in this photograph? They're not in that photograph. So go down again. So I put J.Tolan's one in the middle of those two, match them up again. As you can see, there's hills here and there's hills here on the bottom of this photograph. Are they the same exact hills? But they're not in the top part. Because J.Tolan is seeing a lot more of the mountain than this top part that they're using in Metabunk. In the Metabunk, I leave people go in and have a look at who it is. There's a couple of people there, and they're all working. They were before all working off of this, and this is their debunk of it. So I go down again. That's the full shot put together, the two parts put together, and this is me adding J.Tolan's part. So what do you notice is different? What's different? J.Tolan's is seeing a lot more. J.Tolan is seeing a lot more of the actual expanse of the mountain and the surrounding areas. These hills here are matching up to these, I think. That's what they are. Because actually, this actually here is not actually as wide a shot as the top one. If I go up here, these hills here are actually very close to this part. So there's actually not as wide a shot. So these hills, this part here, these hills here could be these hills over here. Because they're not, it's not the same view. It doesn't have the same expansive view from left to right. So it's a false equivalency all the way. It's complete and utter nonsense. But it's going to get worse. There we are again. I'm trying to match up this top part with this, but they don't match up correctly because this is a much bigger left to right view than this one. Okay, I'm going to keep on going. There we go again. I'm showing down here. There's land all down along here. That's not in this. This is a close-up photograph, right? Much, much closer and a lot less expanse from left to right than J.Tolan's one. And once again, down again, where are the hills? Are they them? I don't think so. I think they're actually over here somewhere. You know, I'm not sure if they're even them. I'm not sure if even these hills are even in this photograph. I think they could be off out to the left here, not visible. Now, this part here is this part here. The mind that I made that mistake there. This is this red arrow here. Okay. That is there, but this is this red arrow here because the person that took this photograph was closer. But the globe believers don't want to look at any of these things. It's just slap anything onto it, call it debunked, and hand wave it away. Well, you won't be able to hand wave away this video. This here is what they tried to say that J.Tolan Media could see of Mount San Jacinto. This little square, I'm just going to make it bigger for you. Right, this little rectangular box here, that's what they said he was seeing. Right, if that's all he's seen, what's this out here? What's that? Is that not in, how come this part is not in your little rectangular box? You know, what about this part down here? Right, this little part here, which is this part, how come that's not in your rectangular box? This is how pathetic some of these people are. This is what they do. This is their debunk. You know, it's horrendous. There's no geometric horizon, zero. So how could it be gone behind anything? It couldn't be. Right? That's completely stupid. Number one. Number two, they didn't take any visual occultation into account, which I'll give a demonstration of in a few minutes. And number three, they just taken the top of the mountain here with two completely different photographs taken from different locations, showing different parts of the mountain, showing a different expanse of the mountain, I should say. From two completely different distances, and they just putting a rectangular box around the top and saying that's all they could see, it's a globe. Where's your geometric horizon for the mountain to be gone over? The very thing none of you would give me an answer to back in 2016, 2017, whatever it was that this came out. Where's the geometric horizon? It's not there. Now you tell me that's all he's seen of this? Does that match your box? No. Here you go again. No, this is supposed to be all he's seen. What about this part? And this part that's up here? What about that? He's just viewing the mountain from a much greater distance. You know, 123 miles. That's how far away he was viewing the mountain. And he's occulted at the bottom. Right? Here I show it again. There's the area they were saying that he could see. You know, I put those two photographs together, I made them as clear as possible, and then I once again overlaid J.Tolan's section of Mount San Jacinto and the surrounding areas onto the bottom of that other photograph. Once again, it doesn't fit at the sides because these hills here are actually only over here. That's actually what's going on here. They're a little bit occulted by Los Angeles. So, is he only seeing this part? You know, what happened out here? What happened to that? You know, this is nonsense. And there's those two together from J.Tolan. So, as you can see, both times he's seen directly to, you know me. And if he had just used his camera normally without any filter, you would see Santa Monica Beach clearly. And you can see it, Santa Monica Beach from there, because I've been there a couple of times. You can look straight across the Santa Monica Beach. There is a mountain 123 miles away from 150-foot observation height. But they're trying to say that it's debunked because, where was it? Oh yeah, he only saw that much. What utter rubbish. That's the best they've got. This is flat out proof, 101. There is no geometric horizon. Where is this? Where is this 15.25 mile geometric horizon? Where is it? There's Santa Monica Beach, 19.21 miles away. It's not there. They don't have any geometric horizon for the mountain to be gone over. Now, the mind is I took a plant off that. That's what there's specks there. It looks like it's dirt, but it's not dirt. It's just off the plant. Now I'm going to show the sound down of this. I'm going to show this. Okay, this is only be 47 seconds. I'm just going to show visual occultation. My camera lens height is about 1.5 inches, maybe heading for 2 inches. I'd say 1.5 inches. This here is about another, not double it, but it's probably about another inch above it. This this pepper here. So it's a good equivalency for Los Angeles, because Los Angeles was at 250-foot high elevation, and J.Tolan is at 150 foot. So he's occulted by 100 foot in the distance. So this is going to be photographic occultation, something also known as visual occultation, something that no one on the globe side wants to learn about or know about. This is not debunkable. J.Tolan Media videoed and photographed the flat earth. Now, there you go, right? That's only the start of it, right? If I could move that back further, do you think you'd still be able to see it? No. Now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it back in, and I'm going to bring the two of them closer. So there you go again. I'm going to bring it closer. If I had more space, I'd use a bigger object behind it. Now I'll bring them closer. Right? Now I'm going to move it back again. Where is it? If you want to see it this way, let's go back a touch. Look at the lamp behind. If you imagine the lamp to be Mount San Jacinto from bottom to top, right? Whereas from here, we're seeing right along to the bottom of the lamp. But the lamp is back so far, and it's occulted by the pepper. You see? This is what visual occultation does. And even if I move the pepper back, I could move the pepper back to where the T is, and I could move the lamp back another 30 foot or something, whatever the equivalency would be. I worked it out before. It was a ridiculous equivalency to scale it. I remember scaling it where as an observer height for J.Tolan Media, I remember scaling it where J.Tolan Media would be at a height of what was it? At a height of 0.5 inch, and Mount San Jacinto would be 36, I think it was, 0.5 inches high or something like that, and it would be something ridiculous like 2,000 something feet away from it in distance. So you'd have a 0.5 inch high thing or inch high thing for J.Tolan Media. Then you'd have a 36 inch high thing showing that would be supposed to be referencing to Mount San Jacinto, and it'd be over 2,000 feet away or something like that. It was so ridiculous that when I was thinking about scaling it, it was so ridiculous that I literally couldn't really find anywhere that would be suitable. I'd have to go into a car park of some supermarket late at night or something to do it. And it wouldn't even see it. Would you see a 36 inch thing in the night time, 2,000 feet away from you? I don't think so. So that's visual occultation right there. One of the things was that's angular size change, right? Things getting smaller in the distance, and visual occultation. This is what happens. This is just part of optics. There's no curve here. There's nothing's been going behind the curve of the table here. Where is the lamp? Yeah. See, the lamp is not going behind the curve of anything. It's just in the background. It's actually the table it's on is about exactly. I'm looking at it now. It's about exactly the same height almost as this, if they're not even slightly higher. But this is visual occultation. This is what it is. So this is what happened to J.Tolan. This is why he wasn't seeing the base of the mountain, because you can't see through Los Angeles. It's a big place. You can't see through it. Do you understand? Anyone who lives in California, please go to Point June in Malibu and see if you can see through Los Angeles. Because it's a big place. It's hard to see through Los Angeles and see through everything else for 123 miles. To see the bottom of a mountain can't be done. He had to view up the way. That's what he had to do to see Mount San Jacinto, 123 miles away. There is no debunking of this. It's done. There's no debunking. Unless you can come up with, first of all, you need to come up with an horizon 15.25 miles away out here, a geometric horizon. You have to come up with first evidence that there is such a thing, which there isn't any evidence for. Then you have to actually come up with that horizon. So, that's the end of that. Globe debunked. Thanks.